It's actually 1 million a day.
Damn, that's a lot of water.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of water.
That is how some of you reacted when finding out just how much water data centers use here in central Iowa. Cities are taking a critical look at their water supplies following years of drought.
City leaders are also identifying some of the top water users. Meteorologist Gabe Pro joins us now. And Gabe, you looked at these numbers.
Yeah, for some communities in the metro, data centers are among the biggest users of water, especially in the summertime. Those buildings house servers for companies like Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and soon Apple. So could the water data centers use to cool their servers cause shortages in the metro? I traveled around the metro and talked to experts to find out.
These data centers, right? They have big servers. How much water do you think they use each day?
Oh, I'm sure they have cooling needs, so that's where it's going.
Yeah. You have a number, a guess of a number?
I'm sure thousands of gallons to circulate through their coolers.
Okay.
I guess I would guess the same. I really don't know.
230,000 gallons.
Probably say about 30,000 gallons, honestly. Lots of computers in there for Facebook.
To the unknowing eye, these large, unassuming buildings on the northwest side of Altoona look like regular warehouses. But these monolithic structures, known as data centers, take in hundreds of thousands of gallons of water a day to cool the servers they contain. And that's causing some to look more closely at their water users in a state experiencing another year of drought.
That is a concern for us.
That's Daniel Scott, utility director for Altoona. He says the Meta data centers in Altoona can use up to 1 million gallons of water a day, 1/5 of what the city can produce on its own. It's moving him to consider new sources of water.
We're looking at bringing on a new water plant, a new deep Jordan well, hopefully by 2026, and then that'll give us an additional 2 million gallons of water a day. So that'll address our future needs.
Over in West Des Moines, several data centers also use hundreds of thousands of gallons of water a day, but they have more water at their disposal.
They use, just a small fraction of the total usage that we use here in West Des Moines. Probably the bigger concern is the outdoor lawn watering, the outdoor usage.
That fraction amounts to about 2% of total water used in West Des Moines, compared with Altoona's 8% of data center usage. But an agreement between Meta and the city of Altoona allows Facebook's parent company to use up to 16%. While the raw amount of water usage demands attention during a drought, where the water is coming from matters too.
In Altoona, the water used for that data center comes from the Jordan Aquifer, which is a deep groundwater aquifer, not really impacted by drought and surface conditions. They're doing just fine.
That means water in Altoona is more drought resistant. The Iowa DNR coordinates water usage with other agencies and also looks to the future to make sure cities don't get into a situation where they could run out of water.
If someone comes in and says, hey, I want a permit to withdraw water from another data center, we look at what's in the area, what's currently being used, what the impact of a new source might be on existing sources, both short-term and long-term, and help make good decisions.
So while data centers aren't using a concerning amount of water right now, and cities like Altoona are looking to expand the amount of water available, Hall says it's still important to not waste water and to plan for the future.
We tend to think of ourselves as a water-rich state, but sort of those conditions can fluctuate, and we tend to take for granted the fact that we've got water in our system. And while that's always been the case, we just want to make sure that communities and users of water understand it's a resource we have to take care of.
It's also worth noting that while Des Moines Water Works produces the most water in the metro, it's from a source that is more prone to drought, the local rivers. So that can play a role in where these data centers are developed, such as in locations with more stable groundwater sources like Altoona. But of course, the takeaway here, not necessarily a concerning amount of water at the moment, but it's something that we'll have to continue to monitor.
Yeah, we know water is a precious commodity and something, most of us don't even think about. All right, interesting stuff. Thanks, Gabe.